ladies and gentlemen.
Heading on in to the 6th round of our tournament here today, the first Hoaglandia Historic Open. My name is Jeff Hoagland. If you're just joining us, I'm joined by my co-host and friend Matthew Bamonte here in chat.
Hello, everybody. It's been fun today.
What's our matchup here, Matthew? We have Confusionist Blitz and Dylan Logan.
So I'm looking here. Wow, this is quite the sheet. Dylan Logan is Jund Sacrifice.
Okay.
And I'm looking for Confusion. Just give me 1 second. My thing is still pulling up.
Looks like Confusion is playing White Devotion as well. So that seems to be one of the more popular or successful decks today.
Yeah.
Pretty easy keep for the mono white deck here. No 1-drop in their opener, but pretty reasonable spells overall.
Yeah, and I think I like the Sacrifice deck.
Hand seems fine. A little awkward that we don't have untapped black, but with the Goose, I think this is plenty keepable.
Yeah. Again, with open deck lists, though, maybe it's not as good as I think it is.
Sure, that's fair. I think this matchup's probably going to be a bit of a challenge for the Sacrifice deck. I think their key card is probably Mayhem Devil, and I think if they don't find a Mayhem Devil to help kind of keep the board in check, they're going to have a hard time.
Yeah, almost certainly need a Mayhem Devil. Kroxa's okay. I mean, it chops them down a little bit, but it's not going to be great. And this hand's actually really slow for the mono white side. So.
Yep.
And they'll get rolling here.
Anybody who's paired, if you're waiting to start your round 6 match, you are good to go. I appreciate you.
Yep. All right, so picked up Midnight Reaper, man. That's pretty nice. So it will lead off on Cauldron Familiar. Has 1, 2, 3 if they want it. Curve.
Worth 32 here. We're talking about how one of the key cards out of the Sacrifice deck is Mayhem Devil, and there's a Banishing Light here, and Confusionist Bliss's opening hand.
Yeah. Benalish Marshal is one we haven't seen either in the other mono white decks, so that's interesting addition.
Yeah, Marshal is, we often see this mono white deck start with a triple 1-drop start, so Marshal's like kind of another payoff after that to like run them down.
Yep.
Looks like we've got the deck list up on the overlay now. Looks like there's 3 Marshals inside a Confusion's list.
Yeah, it's quite a bit. It's definitely something that they looked at and said, I want this in my deck in big numbers.
One thing that's interesting and probably a little bit greedy in their deck here, you'll note that compared to the last mono white deck we played, Confusion is only playing 21 lands.
Right. Yeah.
Huh. Cauldron Familiar are gonna do the bippy bouncy here, so to speak, to keep this Pridemate from doing much damage to start.
Yeah. Decent start for the Sacrifice deck. They do need some removal, obviously, but not in too bad a shape to start.
The Midnight Reaper alongside the Cat here are going to provide them a little bit of card advantage as we go. I honestly wouldn't be super surprised to see the Banishing Light come down and get rid of the Midnight Reaper.
Yeah. That's pretty fair. So
there could be some appeal to getting the Heliod going. The upside to playing the Heliod this turn is it can attack next turn then.
Color's Hawk. Pretty decent. Yeah, so actually this is pretty good. You get to pump up both of these creatures.
Yep. And they both go to 5/5s here, so you can't double block to trade with either of them. Seeing some of the really just impressive aggressive start here out of the mono white deck.
Yeah.
The Benalish Marshal honestly is a really interesting direction to take the archetype in overall, because like some of your best starts are these more aggressive starts. It's a card that lets you lean into that more.
Yeah, I'm with you. Like we saw triple 1-drop out of mono white previously, and like if you're able to stick that with a Marshal, like that's pretty devastating early.
Small mistake here on Nomcarver's part that they're immediately punished for. We see them sacrifice and bring the cat back at the end of turn as opposed to waiting for their turn, and they picked up the Mayhem Devil. So Nomcarver missing out on a free point of damage with that Mayhem Devil because of their sequencing with the cat there.
Yes, doesn't look very good. Like again, all the creatures have outscaled what they're up to. I mean, sure, you can pick off Healer's Hawk, but what is that really going to do?
Yep. Yep. And, I talked about this being tough for the Sacrifice deck and Mayhem Devil being crucial, but I don't even think it's going to be good enough to get them out of the situation.
Yeah, at this point, I don't think so. With the Banishing Light forcing the issue, it's going to be pretty tough to come back. I mean, this is a giant board, and they have no removal on the Sacrifice end.
Yep. I feel like the Jund deck wants to be a control deck in this matchup. Okay, Claim the Firstborn's a good pickup here in unison with these ovens.
Yeah, that's certainly a way to get out from under it.
Gonna be able to take that Linden and turn off Heliod for a brief moment before Marshal comes to wake it back up.
Yeah, that's tough.
Really, do they have enough? We dealt Linden. Oh, we're probably pinging the Linden so that way it can't attack this turn, right?
Some sense.
So small confusion in chat, which I think is important to shore up. Someone in chat saying that Heliod can be killed by Claim, but it can't because Heliod will no longer be a creature when it goes to the Jund player side, so it can't be sacrificed when it's not a creature.
Correct. Yeah.
Interesting that they elected to deal 1 point of damage to the Linden, but then not do another point to it. Maybe they realized it was going to get bigger inside of combat. Yeah, I guess that makes sense.
Yeah.
I feel like we're into garbage time at this point. Thankfully, it's not going to last very long.
Bad. Yeah, it's pretty bad. Unless they rip another Claim the Firstborn, that's one way they can get back in it. But I don't know. Jeez, so much damage.
Yep.
And you obviously have 2 chumps lined up, but
they're going to get to draw some cards here, but they're not even really drawing to anything, right? Like we see Claim the Firstborn, but
and at this point, to me, it's even unclear which one you want to claim. I mean, Linden is the engine, but the Pridemate is just humongous. So I feel like it has to be Linden.
Yeah, I mean, and anything gets humongous as long as Heliod's out, right?
Exactly. Honestly, that Cauldron Familiar is not a bad rip there. It's another chump blocker.
Mayhem Devil's a good pickup. Mayhem Devil's going to let us deal with the 1/1. And then it might give them enough sacrifices to take the Marshal off the table.
I was going to say, actually, they have a Claim and a Mayhem Devil here. That's pretty good.
Yeah, I think we might. I talked about Mayhem Devil being instrumental if they're able to win, and we might see that come to fruition here.
And
if we can take the Linden and then keep Marshal off the table and keep Heliod not a creature, the cat blocks the Pridemate indefinitely.
Yeah, this is actually pretty solid sequence of events. Wow.
We've had just a ton of great games today. Just this game's over, this game's in garbage. It's actually, we're not quite done yet.
Yeah, it's been great back and forth. I'm shocked that Jund was able to come back here at this point. This is great.
You need to make 2 foods too, because it's a 7/7.
I'm saying they can make a pair of foods. These Cauldron Familiars aren't really under any kind of,
And the life gain engine is off, right? You get to kill the landing tokens, and you slowly kill them. Not even slowly, you quickly kill them with these cats.
Yeah, the only life gain engine you have now is dumping 2 mana into Heliod. Man.
I feel just easy block with the 2 extra food. You get to sack the one in front of Pridemate so they can't gain 9 life.
Exactly. There's just no way you don't, yeah.
And then because they killed... Oh, small misstep here.
What just happened there?
Small misstep. We sacked the one in front of the Heliod, not realizing we could lifelink.
Yeah.
That 9 extra life is a big deal.
It sure is. Yeah, it goes up to 21 at this point.
Yep. And especially with the Sarah Ascendant in hand, right?
Yeah.
Skip Dash, welcome back.
Wow. Okay. Yeah, they get to kill off Marshal though. But
I think the black-red player's still ahead here, but they're gonna be less ahead than they otherwise could be, right?
Yeah. They should be. The other player should be down 9 life, basically.
Or down 8 at this point.
8, excuse me now.
And 2 triggers. That's huge too, right?
Sure. Huh, it's funny. Gosh, if they had another Claim.
we got a Kroxa here. I don't think they have quite enough stuff in their bin.
I think there's only 2 cards in there, actually. There's a Midnight Reaper and the Claim. I know that those 2 at least. I think there's actually another Mayhem Devil as well. So
No, the Mayhem Devil's under the Banishing Light.
Oh, you're right. Excuse me. Yep.
And we get to sack the Kroxa here to the oven, get some good value as well.
That's sweet.
Get to empty the last card out of their hand. And again, these cats just don't care about this Pridemate in the slightest.
Yeah, I mean, you just get to attack here for 5. Again, notable, like the 8 life is it's pretty important.
Correct, yeah, like the... And I think they're still okay, but like Confusion would have literally been dead last turn if they hadn't gained 8.
Okay. Healer's Hawk, they're still 1 turn short of turning the Heliod back on as well.
Oh, awkward. I guess because they attacked with both cats here again, they also, like, the cat comes back, and then they get to lifelink the Ajani again.
I would say they get to lifelink again.
Yeah, so, like, they're just, like, letting Confusion shred a ton of water they didn't have to here.
Yeah, they're going to go back up to 20?
Yep.
Or 19, I suppose.
I suppose they could sack a food to kill their own cat to deny the life gain here. It'll be interesting to see if they see that line. That's an option available to them.
Yeah, so block, and then sacrifice a food, kill their own cat.
Yep. So you deny the life gain. Nope, electing not to do that. Like I said, I think the Jund player is far enough ahead that this really doesn't matter, but things to think about.
I'm with you. Oh. How aggressive you get? I would say how aggressive you get with this Castle Locthwain fired up.
I think super aggressive. Yeah, I take my cards. I think that's fine. Like you're only at 10, but like you've got these cats coming in and coming out for 2 points per turn, so just like get ahead.
Yeah.
Well, the game wasn't already over.
Come on, man. Yeah, that's pretty good.
Not bad.
Gilded Goose also was a nice little pickup in the meantime there. Yeah, looks like the Jund sacrifice deck's gonna be able to hold it together.
Yep. Cat's just so difficult to get through without finding like an Ajani or something. Even Ajani doesn't really get through it here, right? You need something like something to give trample.
Yeah. Yeah, that should do it. Let's see, how much is that? 2, 4.
We see Confusion packet in here. Like I said, I think Confusion was out of that for a while there. I think mulliganing some of the gameplay decisions let them stay in it a little bit from the Jund player, but for the most part, that game was done a little while ago.
Yeah, it was weird. It turned on its head basically from the Claim the Firstborn into the second Mayhem Devil. Was like that was crazy to watch all unfold.
We see Legion's End coming in here for the Jund player.
Yeah, that's a good one.
I feel like we also like getting to watch these players sideboard. We learn a lot about them as a person. Like I don't trust people who don't look at their deck in pile view while they sideboard. It's like, what do you got to know what your curve is, Matthew. How do you evaluate?
It's true. Yeah, the Kroxas look like they were easy outs on the Jund end. It's interesting.
Okay, pretty okay hand from the white deck again, but again, no 1-drop. Real consideration.
Gotta be sent back. It does not look good.
Man, the mana in this Jund deck has been rough so far.
Yeah, I think this is fine. Trail of Crumbs obviously is a nice payoff, but its curve, 1/3.
Okay. Hitting the green source here from the Jund player. It is tapped though, so we can't Trail of Crumbs on 2 here. I assume we'll see like Mayhem on 3 and to fetch with Fabled Passage get a point on 4.
Yeah, they always have the stupid Fabled Passage on the turn that they play Mayhem Devil. Every time.
Well, I mean, the Mayhem Devil would be much worse if they didn't, Matthew.
Every time, man. All right, hit third and fourth land there for the mono white, though, so that's pretty.
This
pretty
is an interesting decision for the white deck. Like, do you go with the resource efficient play and play one of your 3-drops, or do you like get the Ajani's Pridemate going sooner rather than later?
I'm pretty into playing the Benalish Marshal.
Yeah, I like this. I think being resource efficient is pretty key. If Confusion is able to peel a 5th land here, they can go 2-drop, 3-drop, 4-drop, 2-drop, 3-drop on 5, and just like curve out really elegantly.
Oh, that's a claim.
Claim is real good with this oven.
Get kind of punished for not playing the Fabled Passage. I mean, I know you have to hold it for the Mayhem Devil, but
how do you get punished, you think?
so they could have used the claim to take the Marshal and also play the Trail, the previous.
Oh,
Like, so,
okay, yeah, that's fair.
but like it's not intuitive, right? Because there's already Mayhem Devil
Yep.
in hand, so. And this is
Oh, this is going to be really good because like they're going to get to take the Marshal, which turns the token into a 1/1 here,
yeah,
which is huge.
pretty good. Yeah, you just
And this is, I feel like, you know, both these decks are kind of aggressive, but I feel like the white deck's the beatdown in this matchup.
definitely, yeah, they are unable to pivot to like a control deck where this Jund deck. Look at this. They have Trail, they have Claim, they have a lot of ways to disrupt what Mono White's trying to do.
This is an interesting sideboarding choice from Carver up top in the Jund deck is that they've left Midnight Reaper in here post-board, which I don't know if that's right or wrong. I feel like leaving that in kind of says, I think I can keep my life total high enough that this card is relevant to this matchup as opposed to punishing me, which is interesting.
Yeah, I think there's two things. I think that's definitely one piece of it. If it goes uncontested, it's going to draw a pretty decent amount of cards if you're able to keep your life total high. Also, just like trades, like it's a 1-for-0. You get a card to replenish, and you get to block something. So
Sure, even if you trade in combat or if you chump block with it, it probably gains you more than the one that it lost you and it replaced itself.
yeah, these Claim the Firstborns have been a complete massacre.
Yes, very, very potent with both Witch's Oven and the Priest of the Forgotten Gods that we see out of the Jund deck.
Yeah, play you mentioned's happening here where that vampire token's going to get pinged for 1. Assume going to claim the Benalish Marshal and then eat it with the oven. That's a pretty nice play. And they even have a draw card also. They want to go.
All right. Getting to flip the tables on who's being a little bit aggressive here. It'll be interesting to see if they decide to play out the Midnight Reaper before they sacrifice this. Like, do they think they have that extra point of life to spare? They probably do with the Gutterbones blocker.
Yeah, so if you leave Gutterbones back, it's probably fine. Man, that was a turn though, man. All right, choosing not to.
It's interesting the prioritization of getting the Trail of Crumbs down here from my perspective because I feel like you're so far off of being able to spend 3 mana on that activation.
Yeah.
Getting to turn the Heliod back on here. Get another token going. Close this game out. Like the aggressive line here from Confusion. Down to 5. They have some food they can sacrifice on Nom Carver's side of the board, but again, I just feel like they don't have enough time to really leverage that.
Yeah, it doesn't look great. Man, I can't believe how fast the Jund deck just like turned on this stuff.
The Ajani Strength of the Pride here to pump out some tokens for them. Still pretty far off of that 35 life total mark where it can exile the entire side of the board.
Man. This does not look good. Trail of Crumbs was always a card that really annoyed me in Standard too, because it's just such value.
And we might actually see here where like one of these food gets eaten just to gain 3 life and not draw a card.
Yeah, sure.
And like both of these Mayhem Devils and Midnight Reapers are kind of on jump block duty at this point, huh?
Yeah.
Wow, we're eating
again. It's been really weird.
We're eating this. Okay. So we're like hoping to draw a Fabled Passage then? Is that the line? Is it just like a concession here? I feel like it's a concession when you miss, right? I don't hate that, honestly. You like play to your out.
Yeah. Huh.
We're just dead at this point on the Gen side, right? Last time I said they were just dead, they weren't, but they're actually just dead this time, right, Matt?
Yeah, they're dead this time.
I need you to stupid check me because I'm definitely proved to be stupid on more than one occasion.
Yeah, that's nice.
All right, head into a third game here. Wonder if we'll see. Be interested to see if we see the players adjust their sideboarding at all. Nope, join players like right back into it. How does confusion feel up top here?
Huh. Yeah, this is. I wonder. I wonder about some of these cards though. Resplendent Angel's interesting. I don't know where that card. Where do you think that card comes in? Just like when it comes up.
I think the Resplendent Angels are in the main deck, right?
Yeah. So there's like another one out in the sideboard. Let me make sure here. I'll double check.
No, all three are in the main.
Okay, and they just boarded one out.
Yeah, they just trimmed around the edges, basically.
Jeez, the mana, man, you mentioned it.
Yeah, the mana in the Jund deck has been rough.
Come on.
Interesting lead here. I feel like I'd lead on the Fabled Passage for the Swamp. I guess the upside here is they get to wait to decide what they're fetching till after they see one more card.
I suppose. I mean, like, oof. I don't know if it was ever. I don't know. It's tough because you want a red source, you want a black. It's just really bad.
And so, like we've talked about this white deck a lot. 'Cause it's been on coverage a couple times now. One of the real strengths of this deck is that like when you have lands and spells, you can cast your spells.
Exactly.
And we see a little bit of that inconsistency on the Jund side of the table here. The real cost of playing a 3-color deck in the format.
Exactly, and the thing too is like they even have the utility stuff. They have Castle Ardenvale. They had 2 of the cycling lands in someone's deck.
Yep.
They have all these utility lands and ways to dump mana, whether it's that or Legion's Landing as well. So it's definitely nice. I mean, what do you even take here? You get a mountain here?
Whew. All right.
Yeah.
Halfway there, Maddie. Living on a prayer. Yeah, I think you just fire off the Claim the Firstborn here. That we have a game now. We might not have had a game if we missed there, and we now have a game.
That would be such a complete tilt.
I love that the Cauldron Familiar just made that a 4/4, so we now get 2 food. By the way,
yeah, that
was great.
That's nice.
Okay, I mean it's very appealing to Devout Decree here, right? Like you don't know they have another Cauldron Familiar.
Yeah, I think you gotta go for it. I mean,
you're interested in scrying to your land drop as well. And again, we mentioned Confusion's deck is playing fewer lands than the other mono white decks we've looked at. They're playing 2 fewer.
It's basically the only time you're going to be able to get Cauldron Familiar off the table, so like you gotta go for it.
Wow, this is great. We just like another. Wait, did they not play? Why did they not play the land untapped? Oh, they only have 1 black. Okay,
one black.
I was say that land's perfect, but it's actually a little bit less perfect.
Yeah,
not quite the 4th land drop they were looking for. This Mayhem Devil is just about to end their entire career. Like the next turn is going to be a slaughter.
Yeah, it's horrible.
We're going to see the Claim take the Daxos, and then we're going to eat both the 1/1s. It's just not about to be pretty.
That is, yeah, it's not great. It's not great. Gosh.
We'll see here. I assume they're going to leave it in the bin. Okay.
Yeah, I don't see why not. It just represents another point of.
They really not. Nam really dislikes that free point of damage.
Yeah. Yeah, this is a massacre.
And then actually, we talked about, we saw that Midnight Reaper and would they have enough life, and this is going to be a game where Midnight Reaper just completely takes over, right? Like next turn it's going to come down and just draw a limitless supply of cards with Midnight with the cat.
That's weird.
Oh, are we just not killing Daxos?
Well, like I feel like they're not killing Daxos if they've sequenced it in this order, right? Like, or are they going to kill it with? They're going to kill it.
Oh, they're sacking both foods. Okay, sure.
Yeah. I don't know if I love that.
Yeah, so this is actually, it's worth noting that, they brought it back at end of turn again, and like if they would have waited, they wouldn't have had to give up their other food to kill the Daxos there.
Yeah, that's the thing too, and they just saw Devout decrease, so like the familiars can get off the table, taken off the table, but
Yep.
luckily for them, it does not. Hmm. It's weird. It's weird. I mean, they were able to hold on to their claim the firstborn, I suppose. So
Do you burn it here? I just want to draw some cards and I want to attack. I feel like I'd claim here, smack them
yeah,
for 7, and then eat this angel. Yeah, love it.
definitely into this.
And this white deck just doesn't have a comeback mechanic baked into it, right? Like once it falls behind in a position like this, if it's not in a spot where it's like at 35 life and can play Ajani and clear, I feel like it really struggles to come back into the game.
Right. Something we talked about kind of
Oh, I might.
meeting.
Do I need to like go back to just our heads here? I don't know that I'm allowed to show what's about to happen on board on my Twitch channel. Like I feel
Massacre.
I don't.
We mentioned in the sideboard portion how like we were interested in Midnight Reaper and how good it was going to be. Like, I mean, they're at 20, like, and they can just the Midnight Reaper doesn't matter the life loss at all, not even close.
Yep.
Boy, that is a complete massacre.
Yeah, that was
Wow. I did.
game.
Yeah, the game's over.
Game one was really close. The games 2 and 3, I feel like the Jund deck really got to show some of its real strength there.
Yeah, that was pretty good though. Overall, good back and forth, and yeah, the Jund deck was really strong in that they had. Didn't they start with a basic forest in hand?
Yep.
Basic forests, Fabled Passage in game
Yep.
3.
Yeah, they got very fortunate in their land draws.
Unbelievable.